Welcome to the video lectures on course Radiation and Microwave Techniques. We are going through Unit 4, that is Passive Microwave Components. This is lecture 4th, in which we are going to go through the introduction to ferrites, the Faraday's rotation principle and the gyrator. So let's see what are the content that we are going to cover in this video lecture. Starting with a learning outcome, ferrite composition and their characteristics. We will then go through the Faraday's rotation principle and we will see one of the device which is manufactured from ferrite, that is gyrator, and we will see its symbol, S matrix, its construction and also the working. So coming to learning outcome, after completion of this lecture, students will be able to understand the ferrite composition along with their characteristics. They will understand what is the Faraday's rotation in ferrites and how this is used in the gyrator, and they will understand the gyrator along with its construction and working. So let's start with the today's lecture, that is with the introduction to the ferrite composition and its characteristics. These ferrites, they are made from the ferrimagnetic materials. Ferrites are oxide-based compounds having general composition of the form MoFe2O3, where M stands for metal and O stands for oxide, where this M is a divalent metal like manganese, magnesium, iron, zinc, nickel, cadmium, etc. And you can see over here this ferrite is a combination of metal oxide and this ferric oxide. These materials, they have larger spinning electrons, and because of this they possess higher magnetic properties. Ferrites are non-metallic materials with resistivity nearly 10⁻14 times greater than the metals and with dielectric constant around 10 to 15 and relative permeability of order of 1000. This ferrites, they are formed by ferromagnetic particles compressed together with the bonding agent using a process called as sintering process, and due to this process the final material, it is very hard and brittle. So this ferrites, they are possessing a non-reciprocity property. What this non-reciprocity property is? The properties are different in the different directions if we interchange the input and output. And the Faraday's effect in the ferrite material, it is also non-reciprocal, and this is used in realizing different microwave devices like isolators, phase shifters, circulators. These ferrites have higher magnetic properties similar to those of the ferrous metal. Ferrites have atom with a large number of spinning electrons, resulting into strong magnetic properties. The magnetic properties are due to the magnetic dipole moment associated with the electron spin. And because of this property, ferrites, they find the application in number of microwave devices in order to reduce the reflected power for modulation and also in the switching circuits. Now we will see the Faraday's rotation in ferrites. So for that, consider this figure in which E0, it is a vertically polarized wave at Z is equal to 0. Any linearly polarized wave, it can be resolved into two circularly polarized wave, that is the right hand circularly polarized wave and the left hand circularly polarized wave. This B0 is the magnetic field applied across the Z direction. And consider a ferrite rod of length L is placed along the Z axis, and you can see over here, and the wave is propagating in the Z direction. We will see the statement of Faraday's rotation. For that, we have considered an infinitely lossless medium, and if the static field B0 is applied along the Z direction, and a linearly polarized wave, where you can see, is propagating through the ferrite in the Z direction, then any linearly polarized wave, it can be represented as a vector sum of two counterly rotating circularly polarized wave, and the plane of the polarization of this wave, it will rotate with a distance, as you can see over here. and this phenomenon is called as Faraday's rotation. So ferrite materials offer different characteristics to the wave, with the result that the phase change for one wave is larger than the another wave, resulting in the rotation of a linearly polarized wave at z is equal to L. If the direction of propagation is reversed, the plane of polarization continues to rotate in the same direction, that is from z is equal to L to z is equal to 0. The wave will arrive back at z is equal to 0 with polarized at an angle 2 theta relative with the x-axis. This theta is given as L by 2 beta plus minus beta minus. So here L is the length of the ferrite rod, beta plus is the phase shift of right circularly polarized wave, and beta minus is the phase shift of left circularly polarized wave. So the Faraday's principle, as I said previously, it is used in various microwave devices like gyrator, circulator, isolators. And in today's lecture we will see gyrator, and in the further lectures we will go for the understanding of isolators and circulators. So we will start with gyrator in this lecture, and as I said, this ferrite materials, they possess a non-reciprocity property. This gyrator, it is also a non-reciprocal ferrite device. Gyrator has this following characteristics, that is, it is a linear device and it is a lossless device, it is again a passive device, and it is a memoryless two-port device. Let's see the symbol of gyrator. This is port 1 and this is port 2. Now we will see what are the properties of this gyrator. So whenever the signal moves from port 1 to port 2, it generates a phase shift of 180 degrees, that is pi radian. But if the signal is sent from port 2 to port 1, then it has 0 degree phase shift. As we are seeing, this gyrator, it is a non-reciprocal device, and I said the properties are different from both the ports. Now moving to the S matrix of gyrator, port 1 and port 2, they both are matched ports, so the S11 and S22, they will be equal to 0. And we know when the signal is fed from port 1, the output at port 2 is phase shifted by 180 degrees, and if the signal is fed from port 2 to the port 1, there is no phase shift. So the S matrix, it becomes S11 is 0, as I said, and S22 is also 0, and if the signal is fed from port 2 to port 1, we don't have any phase shift, so it is represented by 1, and if the signal is fed at port 1 and if we are taking at output at port 2, it is 180 degree phase shifted, so we have represented it with minus 1. Now we will see the construction of gyrator, and then we will go for the working of this gyrator. So this gyrator, it is a phase shifter which is constructed from a rectangular waveguide. A rectangular waveguide is taken. This is port 1 of rectangular waveguide and this is port 2 of rectangular waveguide. This waveguide, it is twisted at 90 degrees and a ferrite rod is placed in the further part of the waveguide, and in this way the gyrator is constructed, and we will see how it provides 180 degree phase shift when signal is fed from port 1 and output is taken at port 2, and we will see how we get the 0 degree phase shift when signal is fed from port 2 and output is taken at port 1. For that, consider the input is applied at port 1. A dominant TE10 mode, as shown over here, is excited into the waveguide where the electric field vector, it is vertical. Then this signal, it passes through this mechanical twist of 90 degrees where the electric field vector, it gets rotated and it becomes horizontal, and this signal then now enters through the ferrite rod where it further gets rotated. When the signal, it comes out of the ferrite rod, it is rotated by 90 degrees in the anti-clockwise direction. So you can see the electric field vector is now downward in direction. So this same signal, it comes out of the port 2, which is vertically downward. So what we can see is with respect to the input, this output is 180 degree phase shifted. So in this way the phase shift is achieved from when the signal is fed from port 1 and output is taken at port 2. Now for the second condition, that is when input is provided at port 2, there is 0 degree phase shift when output is taken at port 1. So for that, consider a TE10 mode is excited at port 2. The electric field vector is vertical. The signal, it passes through this ferrite rod where it undergoes a 90 degree phase shift, and the electric field vector becomes horizontal, and then it passes through this mechanical twist where it again undergoes 90 degree phase shift in the clockwise direction, cancelling the 90 degree rotation by this ferrite rod, and the signal that comes out of the port 1 has the same orientation that of the signal which was fed from port 1. So the same orientation of electric field vector at port 2 and port 1 indicates that there is no phase shift when signal travels from port 2 to port 1. So in this way the gyrator is constructed, and the phase shift of 180 degree is achieved from port 1 to port 2, and 0 degree phase shift from port 2 to port 1 is achieved. Hope you have understood what we have discussed in today's this lecture, that ferrite compositions, their characteristics, and how the electromagnetic wave, it gets rotated in the ferrite materials, the Faraday's rotation principle, and then we have seen the gyrator, which uses the ferrite material, and we have seen its construction and working also. Thank you.